despite needing to have a really deep and thorough understanding of the concepts that you learn, you have to memorize mark schemes. Sometimes the examiners are looking for very specific keywords, and if you're not hitting those, then you might just drop the point. Even if you have a really nice understanding of the concept that they're trying to teach you. Content-wise, I don't think bio was as hard as the other sciences. With the other sciences, concepts were so deep and small and complex that you can't really imagine things initially. For bio, I found most of the process is quite simple to understand, and that sort of an enzyme bumps into this and then this happens. The thing is, there are a lot of concepts to learn and a lot of content in general. I found in bio they would sometimes just chuck in questions that may just have been touched on really briefly in the textbook. I wanted to be able to guarantee that I could have a knowledge on every single question that they might throw at me. So my approach to bio was, throughout the year I wrote physical notes that were really detailed based off the textbook. Towards the end of the year I wrote notes further summarized based on mark schemes, and then mind maps, and then a lot of memory and rote learning. I was very thankful, surprisingly, to have topic tests to keep me on track of it through the year. So working towards these, to learn my content, I would read my textbook and then be writing notes on the side, just to reinforce my knowledge and have something that for later in the year I can go back on. There are a lot of key definitions that you have to be able to rote learn, so I would make sure I have those really clearly highlighted. I find that writing for me helps me clear things up. During that time, I can roll the concepts that I'm learning about throughout my head, question it, unpick it. And towards my topic test, I would also do past papers from that topic. Just from early on, the beginning of the year, I was doing these past papers, sort of unraveling what the examiners are looking for and knowing how to approach these kinds of questions. A lot of the same questions pop up through exams, so as you're doing these questions a lot, you are reinforcing the specific mark scheme that's associated with it. Then towards my mocks and my final exams, I made this chunky set digitally. It took the most time in that, look at this big paperclip by the way. They are notes based off the mark scheme. So as I was doing past papers, I had copied and pasted my syllabus onto Google Docs, copy and paste the mark schemes into the bullet point that it fitted into, and I would try to cover the entire syllabus using mark schemes. And often I was digging through a lot of really old past papers to find these if I couldn't find it in the recent exams that I was doing. If I just desperately couldn't find it, or something new that's been added to the syllabus, then I would make up my own mark scheme answer for it. I would merge a lot of mark schemes together to make these. And I really depended on a lot of the essay answers because they gave such a thorough, expanded information that could cover a lot of questions. While making these notes, you have sort of reinforced knowledge as well that you might have forgotten from topics that you were learning early in the year. But the thing about bio is that you have to know these bullet points. I put them onto these beautiful mind maps, summarizing my mark scheme notes so that a whole topic is onto one sheet of paper. And I highlighted sort of the topic of each mark scheme answer that I had summarized. At the beginning of every day, I would use this as a tool to engage my mind and revise bio really effectively. So I would only glance at the highlighted topic sentences and then blurt out all the knowledge I had on that. This is really tiring on your mind, and because of that, I had sort of used highlighting in different colors to split the topic into subcategories, so I could give myself 5 minutes to blurt out one category, give myself a break, do the next one, and then continue. Just because you're so actively engaging your mind and testing yourself that it gets really tedious after a while. And then after that, I would mark, and if there were points that I missed out, I would first of all memorize them, and then second of all make an asterisk or a star next to it, and then later in the day I would test myself on the specific headings that I didn't get right in the morning, and I would keep doing that until I was getting everything essentially memorized. I would repeat doing that till the exam, and in my weaker In my weaker topics, I would do them more so I could get across through all the topics and especially reinforce the ones that I was weaker on. So if you really want to excel in bio, I really think you need to have a deep understanding of concepts, know it from different angles in a way. For example, you need to be able to recognize the process of photophosphorylation in different diagrams that they might throw at you, so not just one that you're really familiar with. You need to be able to apply this knowledge onto foreign concepts. Even though the mark schemes are essential, I reckon that Cambridge and A-levels is trying to get more focus on applications. So I think that's why you both need to be able to rote learn, but also have a really deep grasp of topics, so you can understand how to apply them to foreign things that you have never seen before. Yeah, so all in all, that was my process to approaching bio. If you love processes, if you love to learn about how your body works, if you want to learn about how the living things in this world works, I reckon you should give bio a shot. It's not an easy subject. It gets a bit tedious at times, but you learn honestly so much from it and you gain so much curiosity from it just to keep learning.